Boom. Start stream. And if you guys are wondering why am I looking up here all the time, I have a secondary screen for like film stuff and my streaming thing, so do not fear. All right, that's the YouTube link. Same deal. Mute yourself on Zoom, please, or leave the Zoom thing and go to the YouTube and announce yourself there. I got screens for days. All right, first things first, whenever we get onto YouTube, is make sure that you can actually hear what I'm saying. You should be able to, because I just double checked on my end. Ooh, we got Alan, the #1 to the chat. You guys should should play a game where whoever's first on the chat gets something. I don't know what you guys would want, but it should be like a #1 winner or something. All right. Hear and can hear. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate that. So, if we go into our little canvas area and under either modules or assignments, there is an assignment called Just Find Vocal Comp, and as you can see, it is optional, so we don't have to actually do it. But this is a cool way to actually start working on your comping skills, like your vocal comping skills. So I'm going to show you what this is all about, and I'm going to show you how you can go about comping. So right here, you can click on this little down arrow to download the actual session. It's called Just Find Vocal Comp. What downloads is actually a zip file. Now again, you want to save it in a proper location, right? And it's going to download a zip file. We've already talked about what a zip file is, right? It's basically a package that contains a bunch of folders and files, right? So you can see that once it finishes downloading, you see just find vocalcomp.zip, and if you double click on the zip, hey, what's up? You'll see that a folder called Just Fine in Class appears, right? Now this folder is actually a Pro Tools session folder, which means that everything to do with the session lives in here. You can see the PTX file, you can see the wave cache, and you can see your audio files, right? So in order to open up this session, all you need to do is double click on this PTX folder. Now, just to be sure, I want to make sure that it's the right sample rate. Fuck yeah, 44.1, because then I would have to restart the session, which would be a pain. So just double click this, and it opens up. It says, hey, there's a couple of buses that are not mapped correctly, and you say no, that's fine. And this is the session that opens up. This is where we're going to learn a little bit about vocal comping, right? As always, I like to color my tracks first, so I've got, it looks like the vocals on top, right? These are vocals. And at the bottom, it looks like the beat. Now, personally, I like the beat to be the thing on top and the vocals to be at the bottom. This is just a preference. And I'm also going to color this. And I'm going to color the vocals blue. It's just my preference. You can use whatever you want. So now, let's take a listen to this song. Before I do that, I'm going to create a master fader just so that I have it. And don't worry about this, but I'm just going to put a limiter on it just so that it becomes a little bit more audible, because it sounds like a rough mix and it's not loud enough.
Stretched out like a rubber band, she already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store. Black leather sticking to your skin, red lips dripping from your grin. Looks like I gotta learn a little more. Love it temporarily, in love, trying to get you some. Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to run. But I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now. Never said guarantee, I shouldn't speak so loud, no. And I say too much. What's on my mind? My mind. So I guess the thought of you's just fine. I just find it.
So pretty cool, right? That is not me, bro. All right, let me show you.
So I
see, does not sound like me at all.
now do your thing, baby. So hard to be
I can't believe you thought it was me. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
Go ahead now, do your thing.
Did he say he was stretched out like a rubber band? Yes, he did. He did say, Keisha, yeah, he did say that. Don't ask me what he means by that. I will let you guys interpret what that means. What does it mean if a guy is stretched out like a rubber band? Hey, no judgment here. You know, we're all one love. So do your thing. Anyway, so we got a beat on top, right? So if I solo the beat, you can hear that we're just listening to the beat right over here. And then you have the vocals. If you solo
Looks
these,
like I gotta learn a little more.
right? No, that is not me. Why does this sound like me? Oh man, that's not a good thing. I mean, no offense to the vocalist, but I don't think this sounds like me.
My mind,
yeah. See, that's not me. No, it is not me. I'm not a singer. So we got vocals and we got a beat, right? Now you see that with this vocal, if you click on this little down arrow, we've got multiple takes, right? So what we need to do is we click on Waveform. And actually, before I do that, I'm actually going to reduce the size of the beat because I'm not really worried about the beat right now. And I'm going to increase the size of the vocals so I know what I'm focusing on. Again, it's about focusing on things and not getting distracted by other things, keeping things moving and efficient. So I got the vocal track here. This is the main playlist. If I click on Waveform and go to playlists, I will see all the different takes that this guy did. So basically, this guy did a one take about 8 times, right? This is one full take, another full take, another full take, etc., 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 right? Jeet was like a prize goes to the first person on YouTube, so I said your cookies for the first prize. Oh, yeah, I mean, I didn't know, oh, cool. I didn't know, Hannah, you made cookies. That's awesome. But yeah, that's a good idea. But then she'd have to make cookies, like, for everybody every time. It's kind of annoying. So what we have to do is go through the different takes. Basically, your job now is to go through the different takes, listen to what's best, and then make a one-track final vocal take. So basically, vocal comping. This is an example where you have an artist perform multiple times, and it's your job to choose the best takes to create the final track. So first, I'm going to go ahead and click on the down arrow, hit new, and I'm going to call this Macbox Comp, right? So this is where the final vocals are going to live. Now you can see that we have multiple takes down here. I'm actually going to move this one back up. And and then we're going to go ahead and listen to all of them and see which takes to use. So let's take an example of take 1, and let's just listen to this real quick.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan. Waiting for me to find out what's in store. Waiting for me to find out.
All right, so there's one thing which is a little bit of an issue in take 1, right? If you listen to this line, looks like she got to learn a little more, right? There's a little right in the middle of that. Listen again.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan. Waiting for me to find out.
Right there.
Waiting for me to find.
Right there. Waiting for me to find.
Plan. Waiting for me to find out what.
Right? So again, you can actually fix that in post-production using certain tools, but you know, in the case where we want to get the best takes, let's avoid that because we might have a better take. Yeah, good. Heard it. Good. Let's listen to take 2 or the next take. these are labeled a little bit weird. And maybe the first thing you might want to do is actually rename all these. So if you want to get super organized about it, you totally can. You can call this take 1. If you can spell, right? You can call this take 2. You can go ahead and double click all these and actually rename them to something more sensible, right? Again, I'll leave it to your discretion as to how you want to do this, because you can see that there's like 4, 5, then 5.1, and it gets like a little bit weird, right? So I'm actually just going to go ahead and keep them really simple. Instead of saying take, I'm just going to do underscore, right? So underscore 1, underscore 2, underscore 3, 4, 5, and then instead of 5, 1, the problem is I need to go and change these first. 6, 7, 8. Okay, there you go. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's listen to take 2.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
So already I don't like take 2. Why? Because you can hear a little bit of his snot sound, like the stretched out like a
rubber band.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
So not the ideal first take. But let's listen to the rest of it, because maybe the rest of it is great and we can use it. So let's listen.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store. Yeah.
So it's got some vibe to it. Again, there's a couple of things we have to keep in mind, and I should have mentioned this first right at the top. We want to make sure it's a clean take, right? No kind of ticks, pops, or distortion. Want to make sure that there's no weird sounds like lip smacks, snot sounds, throat sounds, anything that's distracting that'll take away from the actual music. We want to make sure that the lyrics and the pitch are correct, and we want to make sure that it actually has emotion and feel, and it has direction and flow. So you're trying to keep all these things in mind while actually choosing a take, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So the rest of this line was fine. It wasn't terrible, and it wasn't, the worst. There was a little bit of a mouth sound over here, and the sustain was a little bit, his sustain over here was a little bit uncertain, not very confident, so I don't know. But I did like the little yeah. That's like got really cool vibe to it.
Waiting for me to find out what's in store. Yeah.
I like that. That's probably the one thing that I really loved from it. So if I wanted to, I could literally just highlight this and then click on this little up arrow from take 2 and move it up right away if I wanted to do that right now. But sure, let's leave it. Let's move on to take 3.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
So pitchy, little ticks and pops, not a big fan, right?
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store. Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
So the waiting for me to find out what's in store I kind of liked.
Waiting for me to find out what's in store.
It's got a little bit of an energy to it.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
Pitchy.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
Too loud.
She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
No feel.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
Not good.
She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
Yeah, not good. So we only got a couple of options here. So we got to go with what's best for the moment, right? Can you chop up and rearrange? Yeah, so I do want to mention that when it comes to pitch, I'm not going to use auto-tune because I want to find the pitch that's the best, that's the closest for now. Because when it comes down to it, this kind of song is a little bit more acoustic, natural bass. So they don't want to have too much auto-tune on it because it might sound too robotic. So you're trying to find the pitch that's closest to all the notes. Now there are ways to manually correct pitch that are different from auto-tune that I'll talk about in like next week or 2 weeks from now. But for now, I'm looking for the ones that are pitch-wise fairly solid, mainly have like a real emotion behind them, because pitch I can fix, emotion I can't. And then the sounds like little nasal sounds or throat sounds or whatever, you can fix them, but ideally you don't want them.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
And, you know, one thing that I always try to emphasize is that the first line of a vocal is really important. Like, okay, you know, maybe somewhere down one of the phrases is not as powerful as it could be, but if you enter with a vocal that's like, it just immediately kills the song. So first line, first entrance of anything is like very, very important.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
Now, sometimes it might be annoying to like hear these over and over again and try to discern them, but that's kind of what your job is. Sometimes what might help is playing it a little further back to get some context of the song, right? yeah. This, I don't know if you meant me, but I think you mean like the dude. Yeah. Can you chop up and rearrange? If you mean what I think you mean, yes, you can. You can take different takes from different places. Yes, absolutely.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store. Waiting for me to find out what's in store. Waiting for me to find out what's in store.
So that's probably my favorite, waiting for me, even though there's a little bit of a nasal sound, but I'm not, you know, you choose the best that you can, right? So now we got to figure out what these first two lines are going to be. So we got to start strong, right? Let's see if take two is the one.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
No, snot sound.
Stretched out like a rubber band.
It's pretty good.
She already got a...
So that might be the one. Now I can't use the line right after that because there's a little tick sound if you heard it.
She already got...
Right? Again, there are ways to remove that, but I'm trying to go for the cleanest sound right now. So I got to find a second line.
She already got a master plan.
Now, just for example, I'm just going to let's take a random line like this.
She already got a master plan. She already got a master plan.
So this one sounds on pitch, on time, has some feel to it. So you suppose you choose this. Well, there's one more thing we have to actually check, which is if you take it off solo and listen to the main playlist, which is your combination of all of them, not only do the individual lines have to work on their own, but they have to flow into each other as well, right? Let's listen.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
Now, look, to the average listener, that sounds fine. But to me, there is a difference between the energy in this and the energy in this. And again, you do this by training your ears a little bit, but just listen one more time.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for...
So you can actually hear that he was closer to the microphone and like a little bit, like pushing a little bit on the upper chest voice kind of thing. So I don't think this take is going to actually work. So you want to make sure that you have flow in between lines as well.
She already got a master plan.
So again, this is kind of the detail that goes into vocal comping. Now, obviously I'm showing it to you nice and slow, but the idea is to get fast at this.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master. Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan.
So we could take this take over here, and then what we do need to do is, because these are volume different, level different in a fairly significant way, I could actually just clip gain this down a little bit.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan, waiting for me to find out what's in store.
Right? And then obviously the last thing we do is go in and perfect our little fades to make sure that we are nice and clean.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master. Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan.
There you go.
Waiting for me to find out what's in store.
Right? Then we go to the next line. This is kind of how we do it all the way through, right?
Black leather sticking to you. Black leather stick. Black leather stick. Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather sticking to your skin. Red. Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather.
So if you heard like a little sound at the end of this,
Skin. Sticking to your skin.
right? Now we could technically just edit that out,
To your skin.
but it sounds a little too immediately empty, like you can hear it cut off.
Sticking to your skin.
That being said, once you add reverb and stuff, maybe it would be less noticeable. But these are the things that I'm listening for all the time.
Black leather stick. Black leather sticking.
Right? You can hear the
Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather sticking to your skin.
dry throat.
Black leather sticking to your.
Now all they need is better lyrics. Yep, well, unfortunately, that I can't fix with Pro Tools. I can't. So,
Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather sticking to. Black leather sticking. Black leather sticking to your skin. Black leather sticking to your skin.
I mean, this is actually, unfortunately, this is actually the best one. And the sad thing is that, like, right after that, there's a little sound.
To your skin.
Like, if you listen.
To your skin. Skin.
So, you have to just make an edit, make sure it's
Your skin. Black leather sticking to your skin.
right. Now, again, this is not ideal, but with reverb, when we add it later, it should be fine.
Red lips dripping from your grin. Red lips dripping from your grin. Red lips dripping from your grin. Red lips dripping from your grin.
See, the pitch is kind of an issue here. Like, right? So he's not really on pitch in a lot of these, but you go with the best that you can. Again, it's one thing to like be super anal about pitch and timing and noise and this and that, but at the very top of the list of things that you want to make sure is that you have emotion and feel behind it and direction and flow, because those are the things you can't edit in, and you can't add plugins to create that emotional, feeling. Like, plugins are great for enhancing feeling, enhancing sounds, and fixing things and stuff, but like the core root of the emotion has to come from the actual performer in any instrument, right?
Red lips dripping from your grin. Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
You can hear his little throat thing.
Looks like I gotta learn a.
You can hear right? You kind of want to clear your throat for him. If you love or hate her. Yeah, isn't that how most love songs go?
Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
Ooh. So the pitch was kind of bad if you listen to that.
Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
He's like kind of going in between being sharp, on key, and flat. Again, this is all kind of ear training stuff.
Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
Ah, that was so close too. Fucking hell.
Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
That was fucking solid, right? So we can do this. We can take this one up. But now we need one in between. Exactly. Yeah, Alan, you got it.
It's red lips
Nope.
It's red lips dripping from your grin.
It's just dry throat.
Red lips dripping from your grin.
Maybe this will work.
Red lips dripping from your grin. Red lips dripping from your grin.
It's close enough, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that whole thing. But because we have to get rid of that sound, I'm going to do this, and there we go. We got the first two lines.
Stretched out like a rubber band. She already got a master plan. Waiting for me to find out what's in store.
I love that, yeah.
Black leather sticking to your skin. Red lips dripping from your grin. Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
So now the thing that might be bothering you, thought he said. So the thing that might be bothering you is this little gap here, right? If anything, if I had any critique on the thing that on the comping that I did right now, if I was to critique it, the only thing that I would say is that this little gap here is very obvious. Like you can hear the dip in from something, at least like room tone or something, to nothing. It's like very apparent to me, right?
Black leather sticking to your skin, red lips dripping from your grin. Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
Now look, in this context, it's fine because we're gonna add reverb and stuff later, like next week. But if you were super conscious about that, you could literally take a little bit of room tone from any of these takes, because it's in the same room, same studio, and you could just Command C, Command V to copy and paste.
Your skin.
And get something close enough.
Skin.
And you can actually hear some fucking mouth noises and shit too.
Into your skin.
And I actually don't like that. But you get the idea. You can fill it up with room tone if you want. If you can get rid of mouth noises, even better.
Black leather sticking to your skin. Red lips dripping from skin. Red lips dripping from your grin. Looks like I gotta learn a little more.
I love that end. Couldn't hold a key. I have a word for telephone. Right. Yeah. So, yeah, we've already made the prediction that like this guy's maybe not the best at holding key, which is not, again, not a terrible thing. If you bring emotion, that can really help, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
Love it temporarily, in love, trying to get you some. Love it temporarily.
See? Off pitch. Love is temporary.
Love it temporarily, in love, trying to get you some.
So the end was okay.
In love, trying to get you some.
So we could use that. Again, I'm just going to pick up the pace because I don't want to go through each and every single one, but that's definitely what you would do. I'm just not going to do it now and like bore you guys to death.
In love.
So we like the end.
Love it temporarily.
So we could actually take this and see if it works together with the other take.
Love it temporarily, in love, trying to get you some.
Right? So you can start combining takes even within the context of a sentence, but remember, it has to flow from one to the other, right? Condenser mic picks up everything. Yes, exactly. Rarely 1-1 delay, pitch correction, a bit of verb. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Remember how I said you want to start at the highest level at every stage? So you want to make sure that all the takes you choose are as good as they can be. Remember, all those things like reverb, delay, pitch correction, they're great when they can actually even enhance things, right? If you use them as a crutch, again, I don't want to put it like that, but they can be used as a way to cover up things. But if we're aiming for the highest level of quality, why not try to start right from the ground up, right? That's all.
Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to run. Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to run. Say what you won't, say what you won't, say what you won't.
It's fun, right? Going through fucking takes.
Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to run. Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to run.
It's fun, right? Listening to the same shit over and over and over and over again. It's fun being an engineer.
But I can't give you what.
Now you might also notice that there are all these little sounds in between takes, and I've kind of avoided using them because I want to get the cleanest take possible, right? If you have all these little itty bitty sounds, it's probably going to get covered up by the beat and everything, but like, again, the little shit starts to add up. So little sounds that are present in your track, they just add up over the course of multiple tracks. So why not, again, be as clean and efficient and fucking pristine as possible?
But I can't give you.
See?
But I can't.
That can't is flat. But I can't.
But I can't give you what you need. but I can't give you what you need. But I can't give you
flat,
but I can't give you
flat,
but I can't give
flat.
but I can't give you but I can't give you
This guy's
but I can't give you what but I can't give you what but I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now. But I can't give you what you need, but I can.
so right now we can only go for emotion, and none of them have a particularly strong.
But I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now. But I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now. But I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now.
This shit is insane.
I can't give.
So you got to make an executive decision. Just go with 2 or 3, I guess.
Well, I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now.
Right? As close as it's get. Yeah. Yeah. When he's not flat, he's sharp. And when Jeet said thus. I did? Thus? That sounds very official of me. This dude got to quit. No. I would never tell somebody to quit. It's like, I would tell him, hey, man, might want to work on that. Or at least, if you're not going to have the pitch, and if you're not going to, at least give me the emotion, right? At least let's pull that. Let's get, like, what are we doing this for, you know? If we're not doing it to fucking, be on pitch and be technically correct, at least give me that emotional connection, you know? But no, I wouldn't tell anybody to quit. It's like, keep trying, have fun with it, but also, like, if you want to achieve something, you need to work at it. So maybe this guy's just doing it for fun.
Never said guarantee. Never said.
Okay, so I'm going to actually stop even thinking about pitch and just go for emotion because there's no point.
Never said guarantee.
Oh, so Hannah, whoever this artist is, Hannah is offering if you want to be coached by an a Grammy-winning opera singer.
Never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud. No.
So I've stopped thinking about pitch and all, and now I'm just going for emotional feel because that's, again, there's some executive decisions you might have to make in these kinds of scenarios where you're like, you know what, we're not going to get pitch, we're not going to get ultra clean quality, so we might as well go for the emotion because, again, the emotion is going to be the strongest part of this thing. I mean, really, it's kind of all we got.
And I say too much. What's on my mind?
Oh, see, hear that all.
And I say too much. What's on my mind?
Dude needs to.
And I say too much. What's on my mind?
So I like that end part, right? Oh, look at that! You got some potential clients in your class right there. There you go.
And I say too much.
So maybe we'll go with this, right? See what this is like.
And I say too much. What's on my mind?
My mind.
My mind. My mind. My mind. My mind.
So I think that one might work best with the previous one.
It's on my mind. My mind.
No, it sounds like 2 different takes. So
My mind.
So actually, let me just explain that. So listen to these two, the purple and then the red, right? It sounds like it was recorded in 2 different takes. You can tell there's an energy and even a proximity difference in the microphone placing.
Much what's on my mind. My mind.
It's louder, more this one's louder, more energy, right? So it doesn't fit. Again, not only do the individual phrases have to work, but the flow from, left to right on the timeline has to work as well. Like, there's a lot of factors you have to consider when you're comping. Again, you can get paid as an assistant to do this. So again, these are just tips to get you in the industry. So yeah, if you have a sense of pitch and timing and emotional feel and flow, good. If not, start developing those skills.
My mind, so I, my mind, my mind,
Fine.
on my mind, my mind.
There you go. So anyway, you can keep going like this over and over until the very end, right? I don't even know what the end actually sounds like. I've never gotten to the end.
Guess the thought.
Oh yeah, I have. I remember this.
So I guess the thought of you's just fine. Well, I guess the thought of you's just fine.
Woo! There you go. So you got some emotion all the way at the end of the track. So you know what I'm saying, right? Like you can find these pockets of where emotion lies. Obviously, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I just want you to know that like this is how you go about vocal comping. So you want to keep a couple of things in mind. You want to make sure that there's emotional, like deep emotional connection. The lyrics are right. The pitch is right. The timing is right. You want to make sure that there's no sounds like snot sounds or lip smacks or distortions or clips or mouth smacks or whatever, right? You also want to make sure that the flow from line to line also makes sense, right? It's one thing to have one line work, but it's another thing to have a whole phrase work, and then another thing to have a whole verse work, and then another thing to have a whole song work. It's important to have that. I don't know if there's an actual finished track, so maybe that's something you guys can take on. I'm sure, but I've given this assignment so many times, and I don't know, this assignment has existed even before I started teaching here, so there's been so many versions of this. Let's see. We'll have to think about that because y'all are my people, so I discount. That's nice. This I want to know. Is there an actual finished track? Yeah, I don't think so. And if there is, well, let's find it. Maybe we can Google it. It's called Just Fine, but I think it's just an assignment track. This might actually be a student from SAE, so we might be shitting all over somebody who actually went here.
I say too much of what's on my mind. I say too much what's on my mind.
So you can hear, like in certain takes, like this one, his voice kind of gets a little tired and it just loses a little energy, like around halfway through. Check this out.
I say too much what's on my mind.
Just gets a little tired, right?
I say too much what's on my mind.
There you go. And then you got certain parts where you got like nice energy.
Well, I say too much what's on my...
Like no feel, right? You can tell. If you can't tell, it's something that you have to start training your ears to develop, right? And the best way to do that is to like listen to tracks, but also like maybe even record certain friends and see what it's like when they deliver emotion versus when they don't deliver emotion. See if you can bring it out of them. Listening to things A, B, like, one to the other, will really give you feedback on what you need to be listening to. So listening to something with emotion versus without emotion, like the same thing, that'll give you a sense of what that emotional content is. Or listening to something that is on pitch versus not on pitch, that'll give you a sense of what pitch is supposed to be, right?
I say too much. Well, I say too much.
Let's find another line just as an example.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet.
Little scratchy.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet.
That's pretty good.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby, so hard to be discreet.
right? That's probably the best it's going to get. So that's how you're able to tell, right? That you can hear that he has confidence in this take. He has emotion. Pitch is relatively good.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
Right? And when I say relatively good, it's like it's as good as it's going to get, right? If you listen to the others, I would sacrifice pitch for emotion. That's a very important takeaway, right?
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
Like that is technically pitch-wise a little better.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So. Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
Right, this one.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
Right, so that is actually technically pitch-wise better than this.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
But there's something about the emotional content of this one, especially when he says, baby, so hard to be discreet.
Go ahead now, do your thing, baby. So hard to be discreet.
There's something very genuine about it, in my opinion, right? So I would sacrifice pitch for emotion any day, no question. Because again, not only can I fix pitch with either auto-tune or Melodyne or all that stuff, but like emotions are what drive the fucking song, right? Now I'm not saying that pitch is not important, but emotion to me carries more weight. And these are the decisions you're going to have to make as a producer, artist, whatever it is, right? Maybe even as an engineer. If you choose the best takes for an artist and he's like, oh my God, I've never heard myself this good, and it's simply because you vocal comped the best that you could, that's going to go a long way with artists. There's a reason why artists choose the same engineers over and over again. There's a trust that's developed. Like the artist can be like, hey, I'm going to give this to you and I know you're going to kill it. If the artist can do that, that's what they want. They'll hire you over and over again.
Well, I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now.
Some emotion in there. It's pretty good.
Well, I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now.
It's so funny. I don't know if you can tell, but like as the song progresses, you can feel him get a little bit more emotionally involved, which is great. That's what you want. Ideally, we would have wanted that throughout the whole song. Maybe there was no producer on this track. Maybe he was just doing it on his own. But you can hear that he progressively gets more and more into it, especially in certain pockets of areas, right? Or in certain pockets of the song. But the problem is that as it goes further into the song and as it goes further down in the takes, his voice gets a little bit on the tired side in certain pockets as well. So again, this is kind of the beauty of being able to vocal comp, right? You can just like pick and choose the best things that you possibly can. So anyway, suppose I did that whole thing and I have, you know, I'm just going to do it super quick and I'm not even going to listen just so that I can have a full vocal take, right? So let's just do this real quick. Fuck it.
So I guess the thought of you's just fine.
Ooh.
Just fine. Just fine, babe.
There you go. Right? So now we have these two. I actually like how these two takes combine together.
I guess the thought of you's just fine. Just fine, babe.
Let's find another one.
So well, I say too much. What's on my mind?
Just gonna guess.
My mind. It's fine.
Ew. Chose like the worst one.
It's the thought of you's just fine. Just fine.
I'm sorry. So, yeah, anyway.
I guess the thought of you's just fine. Yeah. Well, I guess the thought of you's just fine. Just fine.
By the way, if you're ever like working on a singer that you don't know, don't laugh in front of him like I just did. Thank God this is not a real session and this is just like fun with you guys. But don't do that. It's very disrespectful. Don't ever fucking do that shit.
But when you say it got me, oh, I start to go and get cold feet.
Nice. That clipping sound was my sound, so that's good.
Get cold feet. Now I might leave some things unsaid, but I ain't leaving nothing. Shit. Untouched baby's just too good. Untouched baby's just too good to be.
So untouched here is good, and let's just take this from here.
Untouched baby's just too good to. Untouched baby's just too good to be just good enough.
He got some decent takes. Yeah, see, there are some takes in here. Just fine, boy. No one want to be just fine. Yeah, we want to be great. Studio etiquette. Yes, Keisha, you got it. You got it.
Love it temporarily. Love it. Love it. Love it temporarily.
All these are just low energy. Low energy.
Love it temporarily.
Pitch. Sharp.
Love it temporarily.
Bad.
Love it temporarily.
See, you see how, like, even though sometimes the emotion is there, we're losing a lot of the, like, he's just losing energy.
Love it temporarily. I just call it like I see it, yeah. Say what you won't do for me, then force me not to leave.
So I should say, you know, that's what a good vocalist will bring to the table. And maybe Hannah can speak to this when we get back to Zoom, but like being able to deliver on the emotional front for the entirety of the song for multiple takes is an extremely difficult task to undertake, right? It's so emotionally draining, physically draining if you're not taking care of your voice, like doing warm-ups and breathing and water and all this stuff. Very, very draining. So like, you know, a lot of people like to say like, oh, vocals are easy, just fucking hit record. Yeah, dude, if you want to just record somebody's voice singing whatever, fine. But if you want to fucking get that emotional connection to the fucking listener from the artist, like it's a process. It's a fucking process.
Well, I can't give you what you need, but I can give you what you want right now.
That was pretty good. So I'm not going through all of them, like I said. I'm just like quickly going through them just to have a final.
It's me not to. Never said guarantee. Never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud, no. Never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud. Never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud, no. And I say too much what's on my mind.
Not bad.
My mind.
Sure.
So I well, I guess the thought of you's just fine.
Okay.
Just fine.
I'll go with it.
Fine.
I'm just nitpicking at this point, but let's not do that.
Just fine. Too much of what's on my mind. So my mind.
This is gonna be a little tricky. Gotta choose because he improvised a lot of these ad libs, or a lot of these little phrases.
My mind.
Ew.
My mind. my mind, my mind, my mind.
So that's not gonna work.
My mind.
Yeah, this is not gonna work because you can hear how it fades into from one to the other. So we're just gonna go without it.
Alright. So
There you go.
well, I guess the thought of you's just fine. I just find you.
Yeah, see, that sounds unnatural too.
I just find you.
You can hear that it was actually edited. So maybe we'll do this.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. So now if you go back to playlists over here, go back to waveform, you've got a full take of vocals. This is the vocal comp, all right? Now, I was actually editing as I was going along, but what you would do at this point, if you hadn't been adding your fades, is you would tab through all of the different edit points and make sure they were nice and clean. Now, here's a little shortcut. If you don't have this button on, right, this is called tab to transient, and this is for when you work with beats. So like if you're on the beat track over here, and I put the cursor over here, and I press the tab button, you see how it's always going to the next transient? You can see it right here. Like one more time, tab, and now it's over here, tab, and now it's over here. Right, so this is tab to transient. But if you don't have that, then it'll always go to the ends of clips, right? To the next clip point. So if I press tab, it goes to the beginning of this, goes to the end of the fade, press tab again, goes to the next fade. So you can literally just keep hitting tab and go through all your edit points. This is how you get fast at going through songs and editing them down, right? So you can just quickly go through, make sure you got all of them. And I think I did, and they look pretty clean. You don't want to cut off anything that you need, right? You can get it close enough, right? You don't want to get all that sound in between. Make sure the edits are tight. And if you can double check them if you want, make sure they don't have anything weird. All right. So I'm going relatively fast right now, but you don't have to. But the tab to transient, see, I missed this one. It's a good feature to actually get comfortable with. Yep. Okay. Yep. I got them all. This might need a crossfade instead. Ta-da.
Well, I guess
So, yep, almost there. Boom.
But wait.
I'm just hitting tab and going through all of them. The tab key. I missed this.
Oh no. And
that's actually a bad edit, but
never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud, no. And
it's like two different takes. You can totally tell.
Never said guarantee. I shouldn't speak so loud, no. And I say to.
Cool. That is the same take, technically.
Fine, so.
Making sure they're all nice and clean. There you go. So you tab through all the things. All your edits are good. This is your vocal comp. Now the last thing that I like to do is I click on this little arrow again for the playlist, but instead of creating a new playlist, I'm going to duplicate this current playlist. What does that mean? I'm going to make an exact copy of this onto a new playlist. So click, hit duplicate, but this one I'm going to call cons, C-O-N-S, for consolidate, right? So it looks exactly the same, but now I have two different copies of my vocal comp. And what I'm going to do with one of them is I'm going to highlight the entire region and consolidate them, or in Logic they call it glue, or what do you want to call it? Create a single clip out of them, right? So I just want to combine all of these into one clip, right? So I'm going to do that. The way I like to do it is I select the whole beat, the entire region of the song. I press the little colon button, which is like the down arrow in Pro Tools. And then the shortcut is Shift Option 3, and this creates one clip out of it. Now, you can also do that by going to Edit and going to Consolidate Clip, but Shift Option 3 is the one I like to go for. And there you go. You have one final vocal take, right? And that's vocal comping for you. Hopefully that was not as intense, but that is a bonus assignment that you can potentially do. So let's take it back to Zoom and go from there.